Cards do.
All right, Marvin Harrison Jr., Ohio State. Probably the most hyped wide receiver in this wide receiving class. We'll get some numbers going there for us if you wouldn't mind, Shauno.
Yes, I'll bring them up.
He's 6'3", 210. He's a lot bigger than what his old man was, who stood about 6 foot.
It
tall.
was just slightly under 6 foot. His old man ran a 4.33. I don't think Marvin was going to be that quick. But the interesting thing, he did nothing. Like no workouts, no medicals, no nothing. So, So I feel like some question marks there, but then you just go back to what he did. He had 14 touchdowns. Last season, 2023, and 14 touchdowns the previous year. So 28 touchdowns in 2 years, which is unheard of. Like, I think no matter what you get out of him, he'll be a red zone threat. He's so dominant to, fighting for contact. Like, contested ball is his bread and butter. He has great size and strong hands for that. He's more physical than I thought. Maybe not the smoothest route runner, and his get-off's a bit hitchy, but hopefully all that stuff's coachable. He played outside. He barely did any inside. Occasionally goes in there. I think, and go back to that speed question, I think he lacks top-end speed. Like, he's not a guy that you see running away from other guys. But I think he's probably a 4.4 dude. Like, I think that's where you want as a wide receiver. That's standard kind of numbers. He didn't have a lot of yak like potential. He's not a guy that's got a lot of wiggle and he's going to make guys miss. But like I said, red zone is where he will make his bread and butter, scoring those touchdowns, getting up, high pointing the ball and beating everyone else. That's where I think he will win. And you don't see a lot of drops. There's occasionally a few, but outside of that, great body awareness, great positioning to make catches. He's a big-bodied possession wide receiver. That's what you're going to see going forward.
Today is he a good replacement for Hollywood Brown?
Yeah, it's not like for like.
No, he's completely different. Like, he's probably more comparable to like what they had on Hopkins there. And who was their number one before Hopkins? Fitzgerald, maybe. Like I think Fitzgerald might have been better route runner and guy to make catches over the field, whereas I think Harrison might be just better in that red zone than as a comparison. But You're hoping to see all of that. I think he's there's nothing really you can point at to say that it's bad. He was elite coming out of Ohio State, which has been a factory for
receiver factory, isn't it?
Wide receivers, and I don't think there's been any real bust coming out of that area. So
not at receiver.
No, not a receiver. So I think he's going to do really, really well.
Quick Google for Marvin Harrison Jr. comparison: DeAndre Hopkins, as Afi mentioned, Randy Moss. So some big comparisons there, but definitely the most hyped wide receiver in this draft class. I saw a few pundits saying that they like Malik Neighbours better.
They're not like for like though. They're different types of receivers. Yeah, like for me as a Broncos fan, like Harrison's more your Cortland Sutton, and I feel like Neighbours is more like an Emmanuel Sanders, AB kind of wide receiver. That's the comparison. So that they have different sort of play styles in that. But when you want to throw the fade to the corner, you're looking for Harrison. So, and I think for Arizona, that's really what they like. I think what we saw Murray do with Hopkins is kind of where they want to go with that.
Immediate fantasy impact. I know it's wild for fantasy drafts.
If he's that red zone target.
I wouldn't take him in the first round, but I think he probably slide into that second or third round there as a capable wide receiver.
Do you reckon his ADP might be in the top 10 for receivers as a rookie?
Oh, it's very hard to break into it because
I think so too. Yeah, I reckon top 20.
I think he could definitely because if he gets that wide receiver one spot and then Murray's healthy, like he should get 70 balls and 1,000 yards and maybe 10 touchdowns. But that's very, very serviceable.
Yeah, just off the top of the head with, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, CD Lamb, Puka Nacua, like he's...
Cooper Kupp, bro.
Cooper Kupp.
There's so much talent in the wide receiver.
He's probably not going to be straight into like a top 10, but he's serviceable. He might be using him as a wide receiver too. Come fantasy time.
Agree.
What about career-wise? Like, the ceiling is super high. You know, those comparisons, DeAndre Hopkins, Randy Moss, like, could we be looking at a future Hall of Famer?
Definitely. Like, you're picking him at 4, that's what you're hoping.
Yeah.
You're picking in the top 10, you're hoping your dude turns into a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's right. So, you're going, he makes a few Pro Bowls. Yeah, okay, that's kind of expected if you're picking, especially a receiver at 4.
Yeah. Like, we won't talk too much about it, but the RAS, the relative athlete score, compares all athletes against all other athletes. Being number 10, being 10 is you're the top for your position. So you're looking for guys that are in high, 9s. You that are like, what you're looking for is genetic freaks in the first round that then have the production. That's or the other way around. You want them to have all the production and be like, hey, they're a first round pick, but also they have the genetics to go like, these guys are freak human beings. This is why they were getting picks in the first round. You take a guy like Harrison, he's got both of those.
What's his RAS?
He couldn't have a RAS because he didn't work out.
So they project that. That's a combination of all your workout numbers.
Yes.